Here we go. Daniel versus Evoh. You've seen it once, you've seen it twice, you've seen it maybe thrice, and you'll see it one more time. The Next Gen Season 2 Grand Finals rematch. Evoh with the air dribble bump. We just saw KV1 do a really good job air dribble bumping against Daniel, but this guy was the original best air dribble bumper. We have really seen him just dominate with him in a way that not everyone else can. And the air dribble bumps have been around long enough that people can finally accept that they are just another skill in the 1v1 game. For the longest time, people were saying, oh, it's the only thing you do. You just play 1v1, it's just air dribble bump the whole game. And maybe when people were realizing how good it was highly focused at that, but it has long since been easy enough to save for good defenders that I don't think anybody really suggests it's the only way to play 1v1 anymore. And all that being said, all that humongous lineup being said, Evoh has found a way to make it work almost every time. And not everyone can. He is a really, really good air dribble bumper, and he likes to air dribble bump high. He will take you out all the way at the ceiling if you pre-jump his dribble. Dan, what a nice flick. He had a similar flick in the last series, but he pounded it so hard, it was off the post and out. 105 km/h is such a great delay too, because the delay is what makes Evoh miss. Evoh jumps early, he gets his jump up in the air, and he's holding on to the adjustment because Daniel has not flicked immediately. If Daniel flicks immediately, Evoh does not end up, feel side flipping there. While in the air, he'll just fly straight to where the ball is. Oh my goodness, Daniel! 6,000 IQ shot. He sees the angle and he finds it. A little crossbar down and off Evoh action. (2-1). Boomer King Tiger. I like that you use those BTTV emotes that I have not been able to fully set up. Those are just my test ones. Evoh the demo in a second. Will Evoh end the run? He might be able to. I noticed recently, Evoh has pushed himself up in the ones leaderboard. Normally, Evoh is not about the 1v1 ranked life at all, but he must be about it a little bit recently as he pushed himself up to around 40. Daniel, great flip reset. Doesn't get better placed, but Evoh able to save it away, and this strong long shot might be enough, might not. It will be. 3-2 in favor of Evoh. He's trying not to be young Evoh anymore, and I don't blame him. I think at some point you do need to drop the young, and apparently that time is now. Young Evoh used to have like a million names though. He used to be Blessed Up, Young Evoh, and then he would try and come up with another name too for what felt like the longest time. But now we have settled on Evoh. I think that's a good name. I like it. I like the 4-letter names. Is this the best of 5? Yes, this is back to our regular series that we normally do on stream, which with these guys both being in US East, both rocking perfect ping, we will just play a best of 5. Is this young Evoh? Yes, it is. Yeah, this is old Evoh. You're right. You're not wrong, Gers. This is no longer young Evoh. This is old Evoh. And as you can see, old Evoh is an upgraded 1v1 player, up 4-2. And very complimentary of a couple shots from Dan that are somewhat straightforward. He just puts a couple on net, forces the tough save for the first one, and continues the second one. Does Daniel stream? He does. Daniel RL __. But he streams very infrequently. In fact, for the past week, coming to our stream would be more reliable to find Daniel than following him on his stream. Nice flick from Dan. Lots of space given to young Evoh. Is this on a kickoff? He is shadowing from so far away and letting Dan bring it all the way to that sweet spot about 20 yards outside the net. Feer is Daniel's hype man. Yeah, at this point, we have basically been a Daniel stream for the past week or so. And it's because the man can't lose. You guys might have heard me in the last series. We're also going to have him play iRicky on Tuesday, next stream, because iRicky is the last player he's lost to on stream, and he is in the process of taking down everybody he's ever lost to, it seems like. He lost to Mile a couple times when he first played, and he recently redeemed that loss during that 9-hour-long stream. And now he's got an opportunity to make back up that Fear 500 Season 2 loss to iRicky in the semifinals. He also lost to Plum, which is kind of crazy. So if we go on a pure revenge tour, one of those games will have to be Plum. Daniel hasn't lost to Evoh.
Money.
There should at least be some money for a prize pool.
Yo, let's go. Trekker adding $3. I'll let these guys know they're playing for a nice little tip. Daniel's been trailing this whole game, but a nice backflip challenge. Evoh ripping him to the boost at midfield, helping him make the outplay. Who beat him in the Fear 500 Season 1 quals? That's a good question. 2 people had to beat him. I think Gino might have beat him on one of them. He was the #1 seed. And I remember everyone gave me so much crap for that. They said, Daniel, #1 seed? I could just see the future, chat. I could just see the future. The time Daniel maybe didn't deserve the #1 seed, although he was the highest rated player, and I did it mostly off of ranked leaderboard rank. It's just that I knew that future Daniel would be unbeatable. Who won the Sam versus Dan game? You should check it out. It'll come up on YouTube. !YouTube. It's a really good game. And it's also not super easy to explain who won the various series. So you should just check it out. You can also go back to the VOD. 5-5. Mr. Evoh is going to get a pool shot for a potential 6. Great recovery from Dan. Deep in the corner. He's going to lob this one up to himself. A regular human would not be able to continue it, but Daniel almost found a way. 15 seconds left to go. Trying to snipe each other on the back wall. Evoh gets the demo, but not anywhere near the net. Will he find a way to fake it in? No, his fake did not work. Daniel's so calm on the back line. Did not get tricked into pre-jumping that angle, and the ball will hit the ground. So overtime in game #1 of this best of 5. Dan, a big whiff on a wave dash after winning the kickoff. Evoh has a chance to find the angle here. A great shot, and he does. He squeezes it past Dan. Dan has not gone down in very many series. I think Mile and KV1, which is of course a little bit of a special series since the first one was played on Sam, but those are the last 2 times he's went down early in a best of 5. But Evoh will go up 1-0. Game 2. Daniel versus Evoh. Old Evoh, mature Evoh. Graduated from being young Evoh. And he has never ever lost when playing as Evoh. So I don't know why he would start now. Young Evoh was before he evolved. Now he never loses. And a nice save on Daniel and a first for Mr. Evoh. Did you know that people born after 2010 to 2025 are called Gen Alpha? And that's a cool name. Why do the young ones get called that? I don't know. I don't know how people come up with the names for those stuff. Is this the best of 5? Yes. Stream froze. No, you froze. Oh my goodness. Daniel is so 5-head. He finds a way to just let the opponent score for him. A nice kickoff win. He hooks this off the post, and Evoh will help it in. Oh, that's funny, King. I'm not a boomer. Chat, I'm a millennial. Evoh clipping a bump might be enough. No, Daniel getting that save. Both those guys operating on low boost at midfield. Evoh playing very aggressive. But Daniel patience pays off as he's got a Daniel dribble across the field. He's going to need to use that flip to get it online. Evoh just pre-jumps the bottom corner where he knew was the only spot that Daniel would find a way to score it. And the counterattack from Evoh is doubled in from Daniel. These guys are just passing it back and forth to each other. Dan said, hey, I know you doubled that one in for me earlier. I got you right back. Bop. What a great shot from Dan. What is 5-head? It's just being smart. It's what I have, a 5-head. Dan once again playing from behind. A minute and 30 into this game. Will young Evoh, sorry, not young, old Evoh, be the demise of the Daniel streak? Or did we call it too soon? It was a 1-goal lead. Dan with lots of space. All these dribbles have gone fairly directly at the net. Something that I've been thinking about a lot recently. Because anytime you watch Flakes, because I watched a little bit of Flakes when he streamed what was like a week ago, the first time in forever it feels like, is he hates anybody who dribbles the ball at the net, like young Evoh's doing right here. But he found a way to score. Great flick. Ripping a huge flick for a third. But Flakes is a big preacher of every dribble should be, you know, like a diagonal or side attack to get somebody to miss, and not just straight at the net. But these guys have been going straight at the net almost every dribble. When is the oh my goodness emote? I know, we really do need to get an oh my goodness emote. He's almost up to a Kinsei level streak right now. I'd have to go check what his streak is. At some point I'm going to get all these guys' stats in the Discord. I haven't had time to work on it. I've been pretty busy with IRL lately. But I will make it possible for you to check anybody's, and when I say you, I mean anybody who joins the Discord, anybody's Showmatch stats to see, you know, their streaks, their win percentage, their recent games, everything. I think it'll be kind of cool, and it shouldn't be too hard. I just need a few spare moments to work on it. How old is Evoh? Young. Oh, classic. Evoh peppering the back wall, and he will find a way. Ooh, just barely not to squeeze it in. Daniel was keeping him at bay, forcing him not to take a quick shot, and Evoh almost succeeded in pulling away from the ball and finding a way to bop it over him, but missed just barely wide. 3-3. 2 minutes left in what would be an insane game for young Evoh if he was able to win it. Forcing Dan into a reverse sweep is a situation that surely chat would not have bet on. In fact, can anybody tell me what was the prediction for this series to give an idea of who chat thought would be winning this? Daniel off the wall. A good catch of this ball. He's going to take it to the ground, saving all of his boost here on this attack. And Evoh handles it easily and will take a lead. I'm surprised Daniel dropped it so early, especially considering how much boost he had. He could have done a little bit more and then still had enough to spare to make a recovery with, but instead dropping it way far away from the net. And his wave dash turns into nothing. Daniel maybe playing a little bit hesitant. I think sometimes when players feel like they're losing games they should win, they start to try and play extra safe and lose a little bit of their edge, because that shot from Daniel was very tame considering what we normally see him go for. A minute left to go. Evoh, a huge flick on an early challenge. 5-4. A minute left to go. This is a very high-paced match. Yeah, these guys are really, really good. Evoh's always had a good matchup with Dan, but I mean, Dan's just been on another level for the longest time. 81-19 for Dan. Wow. This has been one of your lowest bets on Daniel. You had a feeling? Dan's had enough of this game number 2. Evoh going to go up 2-0. A minute left to go. And chat was saying something about Troll Daniel. I don't think we've seen Troll Daniel at all. Daniel has been playing this pretty straightforward. Evoh has just played great. And, you know, no matter how good you are at 1v1, you're eventually going to lose if you keep playing enough good people. Dan versus Young Evoh, game 3. Daniel put in a situation he has yet to have to play in his huge match streak that he's been on. Down 2-0 to Evoh, the upgraded Evoh, no longer young. The O Evoh, aka the old Evoh. Buried Living called in chat that we'd see the Octane. This has been Daniel's trusty Octane. We saw him pull it out. Nice air dribble out. We saw him pull it out when he went up against Rapid. In his huge streak night where we played 9 matches in a row, he brought it out first game against Rapid. He said, oh, RLCS player, I don't mess around. And then he also kept it for the game against Mile. Mile, one of the best 1v1 players in North America. Evoh! Thank you so much, Trekker. Anything that you give it, well, Daniel or Evoh, because Evoh might be taking all this money, they will greatly appreciate. $15 prize pool. I will update it. Hopefully I can get it in before the next kickoff. 1-1. These guys trading air dribble bumps. I think Dan is one of the most loyal Octane, or sorry, Young Evoh, or sorry, it's gonna take me a while, chat. Please forgive me. I'm gonna call him Young Evoh a lot. Nice, Collie Flick. That's right, you heard it here first. We're gonna call it the Collie Flick. He uses it so much more often than anybody else. But Evoh getting creative, sending one to the moon with a backflip as Daniel's challenge goes flying by, and it will continue it up. The benefit of that backflip is it gives so much extra height, as well as completely stops you in your tracks, which leaves you far enough away to get the easy follow-up. And Collie makes such great use of it. He uses it all the time. But Evoh going to take it out here to take a lead in game 3. A sweep? Could Evoh sweep Daniel? A miss from Daniel on the corner. A free bucket. Not looking great for Daniel fans and Daniel bettors. Cauliflower, that's the one. In Fusion, Space Station Gaming played Cloud9 in 1v1s. I do not remember specific Fusion games. Did Squishy play those? It's a great tourney. It's on Johnny Boy's channel. Yeah, Fusion was great. In fact, right around Fusion, we did the crew battle stuff on our stream because people were so excited about the crew battle format. We did some of it. Also because we just yoink everything Johnny Boy does, which, of course, has been known on this channel for a long time. If only we could yoink that Psionic sponsorship and host humongous tournaments. Evoh, 2 minutes into this game number 3. Up 3-1. Miss at midfield on low boost. Trying his best to stay with that ball. Daniel will get his second. Daniel didn't do very well in the Fusion. Yeah, I thought he was going to do better is what I remember thinking when I watched him play. The thing about Dan is it does seem like he's peaking. I mean, he's been so good for so long. In fact, he's been rank 1. The first time he got rank 1 was many months ago, it feels like. And yet somehow it still feels like that's not when he was peaking. You know, he is still continuing to further and further peak. When will it be time to sell on Daniel stock? I don't know. I don't think now is the time. Certainly not before he's 15 years old. I think it is still a time to buy Daniel stock for sure. I also think it's the time to buy Young Evoh stock. I truly think Evoh is insanely good for, I feel like, how much I hear about him outside of our stream, which is not too much. Dan, a nice 1-2. Long shot, gonna make it in. If you get silent sponsor, no Evoh Wiz Daniel. That's true. That's true. He's lost 5 matches on stream, no big deal. Show matches don't count. Well, that's all Daniel can play in right now, right? I don't know what the deal is with my game, but it just struggles sometimes. Losing some frames. I think I could afford to upgrade my GPU, to be fair. But it should more than be able to handle Rocket League. Oh, Evoh! A fourth. A 50 in the corner. A very dangerous dive from Daniel. GPU. Okay. Okay. Dan, nice flick. I have a 1070. Not in this market. Yeah, I know. Just turn your graphics settings down. I could do that. We can see if that helps. It doesn't help always, which is very annoying. And then it'll, you know, I'll do nothing and it'll go back to being perfect. Evoh, man, these guys are going back and forth. This is a really good match. We've been chatting a little bit and maybe haven't been fully focused in the casting, but this has been a really good series. Minute 44 left to go. I'm gonna tab in and out again because that usually helps. Not always. Sometimes it can make it worse. Evoh on a kickoff win. A shot just underneath the crossbar. Daniel popularized, I would say, at least on our stream, that zero boost defense off the side wall. You can cover so much ground, low and high, which is normally a limitation when you have low boost. Is Evoh NA? Yes, both these guys are US East. Evoh, the full field air dribble, his flip reset. He'll take it down to the ground, try and pull the Daniel special, at least the Daniel special as of late, which has been the fake flip reset that you just sneak it underneath. Evoh catching this ball in the corner. His jump takes the ball away. Wait, did he just smack in an own goal? No, he missed just barely. Next slide, please. I know. my freaking computer, it's not even the internet. My graphics card is just crapping out right now for some reason. Daniel with space. Low boost for Evoh. A great save. Money. Iffy adding $35 to the prize pool, and Daniel will score a sixth, and we will step out and try and give this little computer that could a second to breathe. Come on, buddy. You can do it. $25 seconds left to go. We'll probably restart our game in between the next game, assuming that Daniel wins and continues the series. Daniel dribble all the way from the back corner. Which slide is going to be the one that involves Daniel scoring? Apparently that one. That should be securing game number 4. Iffy. Thank you so much for the donation. I will let these guys know the updated prize pool. Change the hamster from the hamster wheel. I know. We gotta take the hamster out. We will change the hamster here in between games. I am gonna blame Aquadome. It used to make my terrible computer not work either. Of course, this one should be more than able to handle Aquadome. When did you install your GPU? Probably a year ago or so. Can we do a new map? Yep. I blame Aquadome as well. Yo, Iffy making it $100 prize pool. Last time these guys played it was for $100 as well. And it's buttery smooth, chat. It's buttery smooth, and that means that I'm not gonna be able to see you guys. I had to turn a bunch of stuff off. I don't know what my game was thinking. And we also started the recording here just a little bit late. So you might start about halfway into the kickoff of game number 4. But it'll all be worth it for that smooth viewing experience. Trust me. And you know what? Sometimes you gotta just turn off chat and focus on the game, you know? So apparently that's what I need to do for this game number 4. And it's not a terrible idea. This series has been really good, and we have been doing a lot of chatting with chat in the first few games. So let's talk a little bit more about some Rocket League, because Evoh has been putting on a great display so far this series in how to take Daniel down, and it involves playing perfect and maybe catching Daniel in an off moment. Right now, we haven't seen him be in an off moment in what feels like forever. But Evoh, an opportunity. He just needs one more game in the next 2. And that's easy to say, but hard to do against the best 1v1er in North America right now. Evoh, his flip reset will be saved away. Dan, a missed long shot, and he doesn't want to go up for this ball, and he knows why. If Evoh misses, he gets a continuation. Not worth risking and playing too hard. Here, you could change the redeem thing description to choose a map except Aquadome. Yeah, I should just... Honestly, I don't know if it was Aquadome or not. I think I tried a lot of different things to fix it. And even when Rocket League wasn't on, I could still like tell that my computer was dying out for some reason. I think the bigger thing is that I completely closed Chrome, which seemed to be freaking out. Evoh, good patience on defense, and a weak shot from Daniel will get saved by a player as good as Evoh. In fact, Daniel really just lobbing it up for the counterattack. You missed the slideshow? Sorry. I can see chat. I realized I can't see chat because I have my preview up on screen.
Come on, GP, when will these valves in?
Another $5 to the prize pool. Dan, what a nice delayed flick. We're at $105, right? I'll update it right now. But I want you guys to see this delayed flick again. He's used this delayed flick a couple times. Look at the early jump from Evoh to try and cover the net. And then because Daniel holds on to that flick for as long as he can, Evoh is forced to use his flip in an attempt to get a save. And he ends up missing the mark. Daniel shooting far post instead of near. So a 2-1 lead for Dan. Make it a 3-1 lead. Starving Evoh out off this kickoff. Evoh, did he clip the inside of his net? Why was he flying in the air like that? Evoh backing off this ball. Trying to find an opportunity to steal it away. He sees he's got all the field in the world. At least he thought he did. Evoh normally such a good camera user. Not a skill we talk about a lot, but Evoh is maybe one of the better ones at flicking his camera to check and see what's going on. But that time it failed him. He checked, saw Daniel was retreating, and probably in that exact moment that he turned back, Daniel had decided to challenge early instead. And a 4th for Daniel. Daniel has turned it on. He has no interest in ending his streak to young Evoh. Or to old Evoh, I always forget. Dan a 5th. He is absolutely running it up. A nice kickoff possession. The kickoffs have not looked good for Evoh in this game number 4. And it is so hard. I mean, you basically need to win kickoffs to steal a game from Daniel. Whenever you're trying to come and upset a player in 1v1, I think an integral part of that, oh my goodness, the early forfeit from Dan. 2 minutes left to go, or sorry, from Evoh. 2 minutes left to go. He has had enough. A lot of that has to do with the kickoffs. Don't start yet, says Evoh. But we will head to game number 5. Here we go. Game 5, $105 prize pool. These guys have played for $105 or $120, I think, the last time they played. Now they get to play for 100. All coming down to game number 5. Daniel needs to secure the full reverse sweep to take it back and keep his streak alive. And I tell you what, one of the themes of this series has been own goals. These guys are really good at tapping in own goals. This is a double touch own goal from Dan. 1-2, man, very impressive. Daniel upping his game on the own goals. So far, both of them have only gotten single double touches. Daniel, man, wow. He looks so comfortable on these high bounces. In these situations, he can threaten everything in the game. A nice single jump, keep Evoh grounded, wait until Evoh gets up for the first jump, and just place it too well. Dan was threatening that far post. Ends up cutting it in line, which is actually what Evoh was pre-jumping, but still couldn't get there in time. Evoh, sometimes the best play is to do nothing at all. And is he going to be able to force it in? No! Dan, what a save! Evoh got a low 50. And it's always funny when, you know, these top-level players basically sit and do nothing and pretend like they're not getting challenged, because that ends up actually being a pretty good 50. Evoh just rolled the ball slow and almost stole a goal after winning the 50. But ultimately, Daniel saves it away. It's also like how Dan would have potentially a harder time scoring against a player who just would not fall for any of his fakes, who just dives straight at the ball because they don't know what to expect. What another goal line save, wow. Did they switch colors? They might have. To be fair, I don't watch that very closely, and I don't force them to play a certain color. Dan has been on another one. At the start of this game 5, he is playing very quick and forcing to play into Evo's half. The couple times that Evoh has brought it down to his, he's had to get goal line saves. Evoh playing great, but not great enough. OMFG, he says in chat. Dan, a cut in field. Tipped up by young Evoh, and he's able to make it back in time. Not sure he meant to double touch save that into the ceiling, but it ended up being much better for him than the alternative. He's got an open field now. He's going to drop the ball in front of him, and he's ended up just squeezing it by. This is such an interesting play. I was about to talk about how young Evoh, more than anybody else, drops his dribbles right away. He doesn't like to carry them for whatever reason. He frequently just plays them on the ground, and it's enough of a surprise that Daniel just not ready for a straightforward dribble straight at the net. Evoh just rushes it there, and Dan not able to get the save, expecting something a little bit more crafty, a little bit slower. Evoh spamming incoming, a great kickoff play. Daniel has truly dominated in the kickoff, especially in the last few games, but honestly, I don't really remember Evoh destroying the kickoffs even in the games he won. And this time, or the last few games, the kickoffs have been very, very crucial and very, very in favor of Daniel. Halfway through this game, Dan up 3-2. A goal away, or sorry, a game away from continuing his massive streak. Evoh 1 game away from ending it. I don't know if Daniel's anywhere close to 18, but 18 is our record for wins in a row. And even if Daniel gets it, it'll still maintain as the most wins in a row without losing ever. Meaning Kinsey did it, you know, having 0 losses. Whereas if Daniel gets it now, he has lost before. And it's important to keep our record books safe for our king. You know what I'm saying? We'll bend the rules as much as we need to make sure that there's still a record in the books, in case Daniel finds a way. That being said, I think Daniel's more around like 12 or 13. Evo's going to tie it up with a backflip, forcing the issue in the corner. A little bit of an awkward play, but it gets in the way of Daniel recovering in front of net. LMAO, the Kinsey, the Feer, or Feer, the Kinsey fanboy. I don't know if that'll ever change, chat. You never forget your first love, you know? Has Feed played Daniel yet? I'm not sure. A minute 15 left to go. Evoh tied up in a game 5 against Daniel. So close to taking him down. These guys currently playing for a $105 prize pool. Daniel playing for a little bit more. Would probably like to keep his streak going. Evoh just lagged. Well, it's hard to feel too sorry. Evoh's had some of the best internet on stream that anybody we've ever seen play. We joke a lot about how Evoh rocks 0 ping. That being said, no matter what your ping is, you can still lag. So I believe that Evoh did lag. Tough situation for him though. Very crucial moment to lag. Daniel, nice quick play off the corner. Evoh getting antsy right away. Went down 1. Had 45 seconds. At the end of the day, another goal is going to casually come by in 45 seconds. It usually doesn't take a long time before a shot opportunity creates itself. You don't need to force the issue with that much time left on the clock, but Evoh made it seem like there was nothing, and he had the challenge. He went so aggressive in that corner to try and win and take back that 4th goal, and Daniel's just abusing the lead. This is the difference between, you know, playing a little bit panicked and playing like you need to score that can just run up the score in the other direction. All of a sudden, Daniel, a 3-goal lead in what was a very close game. Evoh maybe a little bit tilted that his internet did him wrong there for a second. And he has not possessed the ball in a while. But a great play. Wow, a couple soft touches and he's going to get a 4th. Even Dan's going to give him the nice shot. It seemed like he was trying to touch it stronger here, but the feathery soft touch, and then he catches the ball to cut it back in field. That's a really good shot. I'm going to go ahead and assume that these guys' brains are on another level than mine, and that was fully 100% intentional, which it probably was. But I know if I did something like that, it would have been an accident. Dan, his dribble slotted into the top corner of the net. Able to carry it with all that 100 boost to keep Evoh away. GG's from Evoh. 5 seconds up to go. He loses yet again. No. Evoh. Show Evoh some love in the chat, man. He has done, you know, very well against the guy who does not frequently have close games. Needed to get the reverse sweep, but he does. Daniel will not be stopped, at least not yet. Beating Evoh 3-2.